So anyway, so let's talk about fuzzy finding. So for a moment, I am going to take a quick break from what we're doing and kind of break just being in completely unused Vim land. And what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go seated to my tools, and I'm going to execute ready env. So now this has re-readied my env. What it didn't do is install my plugins. So I'm going to open up Vim, and I'm going to go plug install, which I believe everything should already be installed. There we go. Now when I use Control P, notice I get a nice open up window really quickly. I can also do that, right? It goes right to it. Also this.c, there we go. Look at this. It's even giving me this sweet LSP error, use of undeclared identifier. Fantastic, right? There's a lot in my personal experience that's much better. Also notice that the coloring, much better. But the big thing I wanted to show you is that I do have a fuzzy finder. Not only do I have a fuzzy finder, it also allows for using the highlighting of my current highlight scheme to actually show it in a preview, which means that I can actually reduce down the view and do some pretty cool things. I can do some really cool things with it, such as take this, send it to a special list, and then I can walk through that list really, really quickly. And it's super neat. But we're going to save that for later. Anyways, so I just wanted to show you that. I wanted you to all see that there is a much better experience. We're just not there yet, right? We're still just using Vim. We're just using some of the basics. That plugin was called Telescope. It's beautiful. All right, so let's move on. Let's look at another form of navigation called marks. All right, so marks pretty much are what they sound like. You can bookmark a file. So the first thing I need to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go ready no env. I'm going to go back to my #1 stage. Actually, hold on. Before I do that, go ready env, and then I'm going to go ready no env. I believe stage 2. I think that's where we were at. Let me just make sure. There we go. Good. OK, so we were just where we were at. Awesome. So we're going to use marks. So let's reopen up our Vim Nav playground, Vim dot. Let's navigate the way you want, either using E and typing it into twitch.c, or just navigating to source, navigating to twitch.c and pressing enter. Pick a place randomly in the file, and then press M. Now notice down low, like right there, you'll see an M. That means I'm in the middle of some sort of command right now. And then pick your favorite capital letter you would like to use to come back to this point. I'm going to use capital A. So now I have a mark named capital A at this position. So let's go to a different file. If you're in the same file as me, you should be able to do a space PV, if you've done that, and see some other files. Let's go to this one. I'm going to use that really sweet shortcut I told you, Control-W-O, to close everything else down. I'm going to go down to the for loop, and I'm going to do another M. Once again, you can see it, and you're going to pick another capital letter. Don't pick A if you've already used A, because then you're going to blow it away, right? I'm going to use Shift-B. There we go. So I have A and B. Now, when I press just a single quotes and a capital A, it will take me back to my first mark. Now, the reason why we chose capital letters is that there's two types of marks. There are global marks, and there are file level marks. I'll show you what I mean by that. So I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to do an M, and I'm going to do lowercase c. You can see right there. Look at that, MC. And now when I press tick lowercase c, I'll jump to that. Now let's do, or not tick, sorry, single quote, capital B, I'll jump to the other file. Now notice when I do single quote lowercase c, it goes, hey, mark's not set. That does not exist within this buffer. So you can do both buffer level marks and you can do global marks, which will work across a project. And so that kind of lends itself to a nice feel. Personally, though, I'm not a huge fan of marks. They feel like they have a lot of overhead and you have to remember things. And I've tried different methods for using marks. I know some people love marks. I just haven't got there. Maybe I'm just not good enough at Vim yet to be able to really achieve such a level. So instead, I actually wrote my own file navigation plugin, which I'll hopefully have the time to show you later, which I think is the most ideal way to navigate. But in the end, marks are a great way for you to be able to have a file. One strategy I did here that I thought was pretty interesting was that you would set a mark for the main function of your program. And you do it for every single project with the same key. That way, if you ever wanted to go to main, you do like single quote M, capital M, right? And so for every project, it had the same meaning. And this is much more mnemonic. It's much easier to kind of like keep in your head. And so to me, using marks like that could actually be pretty beneficial. I just haven't quite got there yet. I haven't found my way of using them. If anyone has any great ideas or anything, please message me, tell me how you do it. I'd love to try a new strategy.